So yeah, our first game here is going to be Glorious versus Team No Breaks. Now I know a lot about Glorious, but honestly, I'll admit I don't know a lot about Team No Breaks. How much
Now,
do you?
neither do I, to be honest. Most of these names are new to me.
Well,
Um,
I mean,
I've seen Consort, perhaps, and Veritech I've heard, but most of these names are quite new to me. It's going to be interesting to see how they perform against one of the most established teams in the whole league.
yeah, I mean, Glorious is well known. I mean, ZPs is probably the most famous streamer here on Twitch TV, so they've got a reputation, that's for sure. But you know what? It's early. This is post patch. This is all these games have been played with the most recent patch. So Chen Stormstout is available in these drafts, and I'm really pumped to see what happens. So let's just hop right on into the draft here now.
Sounds great.
I don't think you can physically see my screen, so I'll have to read it off. And
That's fine.
and
Do what we got to do. We're going to get it done.
so just to preface here, there is actually no draft in Heroes of the Storm. There is just no draft functionality. That's not a thing
No.
that exists.
Something we adopted on our own as a competitive community, and we just kind of gravitated toward. Naturally, every MOBA to date that's been competitive has a draft mode. It's a key part of the strategy and the tactics that go into playing the game.
Absolutely. So, the guys at Nexus Champ, they actually created a really, really cool, basically draft like functionality that shows, what the draft would be like, to kind of just give the viewers the experience of the draft. And we don't know what the drafts are. We don't know what the games are. We have no idea what the results are. Everything has been played. But we're going to be running through, watching the draft. And like I said, I'll be reading so you can know exactly what's going on here. So
Sure.
let's just hop right on in right now. So we got Glorious, they have the first ban here, and we got Team No Breaks who will have a ban as well. See what they actually pick, because again, they don't know what map they're playing on, so... Alright, Tassadar is the ban for Glorious, and Tychus is the ban for Team No Breaks.
Okay. I mean, Tester is a little bit of a non-standard ban. Tychus is a totally standard ban. Tychus is such a strong hero, but Tester is also just a very strong all-around hero. Archon is nothing to be messed with, and the very, I won't say very overlooked, but the overlooked Oracle is extremely useful, and it has more utility than most people would even think. Oracle is extremely useful and aids you in so many ways.
Yeah, definitely does. Well, it looks like Glorious is going to pick Arthas as their first pick. So they got Task banned and they got Arthas for their first pick. ZPs is known for being an Arthas player, and it looks like he'll be rocking Arthas for game one.
Yeah, and Arthas is a great choice. I mean, he's such strong tank, such strong sustain. He's got a lot of damage. He's perfect for a lot of compositions.
Yeah, and we got, wow, so Sonya for the first pick. And
Sonya first pick, wow.
And a big surprise here, we're seeing Chen already. Game one, day
Sonya
one.
and Chen.
Sonya and Chen.
That's interesting.
Again, Chen's a new hero. We don't know a lot of his playstyle. We don't really know how people are going to be building him.
Right.
I mean, I've played a ton of Chen, but I really don't know what to expect out of these players here.
Well, I figure you'll either see a build based on his fire elements, his fire damage and slow, and I gotta imagine that you're gonna see Wandering Keg as the most often picked heroic ability for Chen. It offers just so much displacement, and really there's a lot of room for the meta to work around that. You can surprise people with it. Maybe you can plan something that they're not expecting with that. Who knows? Who knows what we'll see today?
It's true. He's definitely a hero that has a lot of that surprise factor right now, because a lot of people
Right.
don't know exactly what to expect. So it could be a good play to catch Glorious off guard. Who knows? Glorious has picked Vala and Falstad. So right now they have Arthas, Vala, Falstad versus Sonya Chen. Pretty standard picks. Lots of damage. A lot of burst.
Yeah, I mean, these are your ranged DPS guys. I mean, they're two of the top ranged DPS. Vala usually goes with Strafe unless you see a Tyrael on the other team, and then maybe you'll see Rain of Vengeance. Falstad is great with any Wombo combo, but he's picked a lot in non-Wombo simply because there's not a wealth of ranged assassins in the game. And the top ones are, Vala, Falstad, Tychus, and Tychus is often banned, so there's not a lot left to choose from.
I mean, yeah, based on what you just said, Tychus is banned, just like you said, and they have the other two top DPS here. And not only that, but they also have Arthas, who is considered to be, by many, he's considered to be the best warrior in the game. So,
understandably,
lineups look good for both players, though, because, I mean, the setups with Sonya and Chen, like the amount of control you have with Heroic Leap and Wandering Cake is a lot of control. And Team No Breaks has picked Tyrande and Nazeebo. This is already a very unique-looking strat.
yeah. their comp's kind of making sense now in terms of an overall strategy. It's going to be surrounding the idea of protecting the Zebo, and the Zebo is extremely strong alt. The Ravenous Spirit, I believe it's called,
Yep.
and Tehran's got some good stun, and Tehran also has great vision utility, and vision utility is often overlooked in this game, as I mentioned with Oracle a little bit. Sonya's got leap, and Chen's displacement effects with his ult can also aid in keeping the Zebo safe.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it makes a lot of sense to have all the synergy there. Again, wandering, especially when you throw Hunter's Mark into that mixture, I mean, you can just melt people almost instantly, especially when they have this kind of squishy composition, because if you lock down both Falstad and Vala, if they happen to be clumped up and you get one good heroic leap, you can just do an amazing setup, for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, looks like the last two characters for Glorious will be Raynor and Rhaegar.
I gotta expect Bloodlust now that I see Raynor and Vala. Raynor, depending on how you build him, can be very bursty with searing attacks and berserk, or you can go with a more, still a bit of a burst, but more sustained if you use the overdrive ability that it's a combination of the overdrive with the executioner, and that the overdrive ability slows the overdrive talent slows the enemies around you, which then activates executioner to do its constant, it's 40% extra damage to each basic attack, and it's just different ways to build Raynor around that. But Raynor is definitely an auto attack character. Vala is definitely an auto attack character, and that lends itself to Bloodlust very well.
Well, when you have 3 range carries and Bloodlust, as well as Arthas to lock people down, it's going to be a pretty scary composition. But it looks like Team No Breaks grabs Uther for their final character, so they have,
Great pick.
yeah, Uther, Sonya, Chen, Tyrande, and Nazebo.
Yeah, that's a great lineup if they can protect Nazebo, and it's actually surprising to see Uther make it to the last pick. Uther is a very high tier support and is very coveted by many teams.
I mean, honestly, with the recent nerfs to the other heroes, I think Uther might be possibly the best support in the game right now. But you know what? The game's starting up, so we're going to jump right into the game, and we'll do a countdown because there is actually no replay functionality in Heroes of the Storm. So we're going to load it up right here. And are you ready to roll, man?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, on go. So 3, 2, 1, go. Well, we have Glorious Gaming on the left side of the map here, and you can see them spawning, and on the right we will have Team No Breaks. But let's introduce Glorious. Now, we know these players pretty well. I think they're probably very well known in the Heroes of the Storm community, but we got Soma Glaurung, Syracuse, Cathan Luck, and ZPs. And on the right, we have Consort Raya Veritek. One Popo, am I pronouncing that right? And Zachscorp. Probably butchered a lot of names there.
I think they'll forgive you.
But that's okay. That's something I will get better at with time. So the models are all bugged, and I don't know if we should probably restart the game. I'll be honest, because they all, I mean, Falstad's wings are stuck out.
Yeah,
Raynor's,
it sounds like what happened with me before. Yeah, it's going to do it the whole game, if so.
This is not going to fix itself. Well,
it's not going to fix itself, in my experience.
What do you vote that we restart the match? Because I think we should.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. I apologize for this. We're gonna have to restart the client. Again, this is very much in alpha, and that would not be very fun to watch. It's really hard to tell if the abilities are casting properly. So we're gonna get that restarted real quick, and we'll just hop right back into the game. We're not gonna go through the draft again. We're just gonna exit the client and boot it back up. Yeah, that's very distracting.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah. What can you do? I mean, it's
yeah.
gonna. It's
alpha.
It's mega alpha. So that's gonna be glorious.
I'm waiting for the GIF of 300 kick into the well of it's alpha. This is alpha.
It is alpha. Very very much so. Alrighty. So we're booting the client back up. Hopefully, you're still in. So you're good to go. Yours is working.
I'm in. I'm good to go.
All right. So get your thing back at 0, and we'll just start.
I'm at 0.
It's loading up for me.
Sure.
Look at that. Look at that loading screen. That beautiful overlay. Slowly but surely, the replay will load, and we'll have our game. Again, this is Glorious Gaming versus Team No Breaks. And this is game 1 of day 1 at the Heroes Pro League. Or Premier League. I'm going to keep saying Pro. I got to fix that. Premier League.
I don't think many of the players will argue with that.
All right. Let me just reset here. Seek back to 1. Again, super mega alpha mode, but I apologize.
Just waiting for your countdown.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, once again, here on the left, we have Glorious Gaming, and it looks like the models are working. Falstad, please flap your wings for me. No, it's not working at all. This is terrible luck. This is actually the worst luck.
Not good luck.
Some of them are working, but half of them are not working. I will restart.
Interestingly, try just to seek, because I seeked, and now my models are screwed up. So maybe just by seeking, you can fix that.
I already exited the game, so we'll try that again next time. Man, this is harsh. I really do apologize, guys. It's very unfortunate luck here, but we'll try that next time. Don't return the timer, you said? So yeah, the website is actually nexuschamp.com. While we get this fixed up, why don't you guys check out nexuschamp.com. So you're saying it's bugging because I'm seeking.
It may be a seeking issue. So when you load, just pause, and I'll find your spot, and we can go from there.
It seems likely. So yes, we will do just that this game. But yes, so nexuschamp.com. There's a lot of cool information. They do a lot of great work, and they work really hard for the competitive viewers of Storm community. We're booting up the game again. This time we're not going to seek. We're going to make sure our things are correct. Now you're loading up again to make sure yours is all set.
I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
All right, I'm at 1 second.
I'm at 1 second as well. What a coincidence.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, third time's a charm.
Let's hope.
I was on faster, so I'm at 9 seconds.
We'll work with it. Let's go.
We'll work with it.
Do it.
All right, guys. So this again is the Heroes Premier League Day 1, Game 1. Glorious Gaming versus Team No Breaks, and I should probably show you the gameplay. Look at that. Falstad is flying around Cathanlok, Soma, Glarong, Syracuse, and ZPs versus Consort, Raya, Veritek, Zachscorp.
It looks like the same type of setup for each team. We got 4 players going towards the Happy Face Tower in the middle. That's what everybody calls it, the Happy Face. It's the main tower, the vision tower up in the top center. It's pretty powerful for controlling center, and it's usually worth fighting over. Not everyone does it. But both teams have a hero bottom to soak experience from those lanes, because it's very detrimental to lose experience from any lane in the early game.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, they got the one hero in the bottom lane, like you said, and the one hero in the top lane for each. Just try to get the maximum XP, but it looks like Glorious is actually going to commit more to the middle of the map.
Yes. They want that chest, I bet.
I mean,
the chest that's going to spawn here in about 30 seconds.
And it's pretty common to want to worry about the map objectives, because they do have such a large impact on the game, especially here on Blackheart's Bay. So it's pretty standard laning phase early in the game, but here the chests are.
Yep.
And the battle.
Soma's on the chest.
Yeah.
Looks like Glorious is going to take this chest.
And the bottom chest, Glorious is actually going to get 9 out of 10 coins initially, but ZPs might fall here. But a very, very nice play by ZPs there getting away.
Yeah. Like we got Raynor heading down bottom. Maybe he's going to go for a gank. Maybe he's just lending some support to the bottom lane. Or there's no one else there right now, so he needs to get that experience.
I mean, yep, smart play there. And we have Rhaegar and ZPs on Arthas grabbing the coins here, because they know that if they get 2 coins or even just 1 coin, they have enough to turn in. And they're probably going to run straight over and try to get that early turn in, because between them they have 10 coins.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it looks like from here. We'll see if they get any contest. It does not look that way. Standard laning going on in the rest of the map. We got Chen top. Syracuse looks like he wants to take that tower. We'll see if that happens. Falstad's playing it safe. He doesn't want to get ganked, and that's understandable. It's definitely nice to stay close to your towers in the early game, especially when you're solo in your lane, because there's so much motion going on in the game. There's so much just kinetic activity all over the place. You never know when 1 or 2 heroes are going to pop up out of nowhere to try to take you down.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, it looks like, we can already see Glorious's strategy here. They're going for a lot of merc camps, they're going for a lot of coins, and they're not really committing. They're just getting the max XP, making sure they soak all 3 lanes, and they got that really, really early turn in. I mean, it's very rare to see a turn in that quick. And
often,
go ahead.
often this stage of the game is really nothing more than a first to 10. It's like everybody wants to be the first to 10 because when you're at level 10 and they're at level 9, you have heroics and they don't. And you can force the issue anywhere you want to.
Absolutely, but I mean, we saw both teams grab their giants. You know, level 4, pretty common strategy there. And
Yep.
again, we just see Soma and ZPs roaming around collecting as many coins as they can. It seems to be their core focus because, like you said, until level 10, they don't really want to initiate. They don't have their maximum potential with their heroics, and they're just kind of avoiding any kind of actual confrontation and just maxing their XP. But we see a really, really nice Wall of the Dead here on Glaurung, but he'll be just fine, popping his heal on Raynor there.
Yeah, that heal kicks in automatically and is extremely useful. It's a great passive to have, no doubt about it.
I mean, it's very, very, very strong. That's for sure. I mean, it's not a
Yes.
small amount of healing. It's a good chunk of HP.
Yeah, it's good. And he even got the talent "Give Me More," which increases that healing by 50%. That's it's very powerful. It's hard to take Raynor down when he has that with just like 1 or 2 characters.
Syracuse with a really nice vault, getting out of that, dodging Tyranda's stun, and getting to safety. Could have been a really nice setup for them, but
Yeah, we got a lot going on right now. Looks like we got a possible gank mid, and we got Glorious taking the Night Camp bottom.
oh, the healing ward might be enough to keep Soma alive, and he's
Yeah,
gonna.
could be. He's
Oh,
gonna
he
run
gets
it.
away just barely. The healing ward.
Oh, the
probably
stun! Oh, barely gets away. Wow, that was close.
And we actually just see crazy pressure here in the bottom lane. They got to push with the Knights. Glaurung, ZPs, and Cthulhu like doing as much damage as they can, but they notice they don't know where everyone is. They're backing
Yep.
up. But little do they know, Team No Breaks is actually just going for the Knights up in the top right corner. They want to get those Knights. They want to keep the pressure on in the top lane. And they're not too worried about their bottom lane because they got 2 players down there defending. They have both their towers up still, even though they're out of ammo.
I feel they might have kept the pressure on, but whenever you don't see 2 or 3 members of the enemy team on the minimap anymore, you have to be a little cautious. You can't just throw caution to the wind and give up like a 2-man gank or something like that.
Absolutely. I mean, better play safe than sorry, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, the chests are back up, and we're probably going to see an engagement here because we've seen Glorious, trying to just maximize their coin efficiency. They have quite a few turned in at this point, it looks like.
I have an engagement here down at the bottom chest. Glaurung, and okay, looks like No Breaks is backing off. They're going to poke, but they're not going to commit. No commitment.
No commitment. Everybody's just playing safe. Everyone wants
Yep.
their level 10 before they really try to, make their initiations happen. And
Witch Doctor may be getting caught out here. Witch Doctor might go down in this instance. We'll see. No, ZP is going to try to turn in.
and it looks like, Team No Break is actually just going to fall in here and just try to get
Yeah.
a big gank.
Yeah,
on
they're going to
ZP.
deny this. ZP and Soma are going to have no choice but to back off.
But Glaurung is kind of out of position here. Will he be able to get out of this situation? He's got the stun on him. The heal comes off. But it won't be enough. He's going to fall for sure.
Oh yeah. Especially when that's done.
But Cthulhu Luck did some good damage to their middle tower there. I mean, just burning down that keep. And they're just keeping the pressure whenever possible. They think they're going to lose a gank. They know the enemy team's out of position. They're capitalizing in other parts of the map. We see they're grabbing the Knights on their side of the map in the top left. And again, the coin count is just very severely in favor of Glorious at this point in the game.
This map can often be about attaining a tempo. And once you get a tempo of getting those night camps and getting, the siege camps, and you're picking up coins, you find a momentum, and you carry that momentum into the mid and late game, which can really benefit your team and carry you to the win.
Absolutely. Well, we see that Glorious has another siege coming down on the enemy team, as well as Knights pushing in the top lane. I'm not sure if they're going to want to push with their Knights or try to do a split push in the bottom. They seem kind of like they're looking for the enemy team, and they might actually...
Yeah, they're looking for action for sure. They're going to go down to that easy camp of No Breaks, and they're going to see what they can do. They see this just been taking this meat.
And they're going to get 2 kills here. Both Karana and Azebo are going to fall, popping a couple heroics, but again, that level 10, they know they had it, and they know they could initiate and get some kills, and getting 2 kills is absolutely great.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it gives you that experience. It puts them on respawn timer. It lets you do more around the map. It gives you map control.
And you know what? They're ready to engage. They know 2 players
Oh,
are down,
absolutely.
and this top lane is theirs. They just want it. They're hungry.
Now it looks like they might be going for the top golem.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they know that 2 players were down. Now they're back up. But Team No Break seems to have an idea of what's going on because they're posturing here in the top lane as well. But it's not going to be enough. They're not going to be here in time.
No, they're not going to be able to.
They're going to back out. But Cthulhu Luck could be out of position here. Ravenous Spirit goes down. But will it be enough to actually get a kill? We see Bloodlust. Heroics.
Oh, this is huge.
And, yeah, Team No Breaks just wasn't ready. They initiated well, but it almost seemed like they should have just fell back because when
They should have. They should have given up Golem and defended.
Right.
That was the only real play at that point. And once Glorious got the Golem on their side, it was over at that point. The fight was over. So yeah, they should have disengaged how they could and tried to defend. But we'll see if they can recover here and regroup, which is totally possible. This game's far from over.
Well, yeah, I mean, the respawn timers are very short at this point in the game. They're not out of the game yet, but there's a huge push here. The Golem will fall soon, but they're going to get a decent amount of damage done.
Yes, they will.
All Glorious has to do is fall back and turn in their massive amount of coins. I mean, they have enough for another turn in, that's for sure.
Yep, and that should be their next play. We'll see them fall back here, and we'll see if they go to turn in those coins. I'm sure they'll try to secure the chest before they do that.
Yeah, with 10 coins available, we see the Thonlux flying down to the bottom chest. He's going to gather up those 5 coins with ease, and we got the rest of them just gathering the top chest. Now,
Looks like they're going to collect all 10 off the chest.
Yes, but at this whole time, there have been giants just wrecking havoc in the bottom lane. And Team No Break really has to take care of that. They have to clean up giants before they can even contest.
Right, you cannot leave giants alone. They will just wreak havoc on your buildings. Your minions aren't enough to take on the giants in a reliable amount of time, in a short enough period of time.
Well, we see they got the turn in there again. Glorious just dominating the map objective here, but Team No Break made the decision to not try to contest, and they went for the bottom knights. I think it's a solid play because it gives them time to spread out on the map, get some presence, maybe collect some coins, and get some XP in the other lanes while Glorious defends the bottom lane.
It lets them take a little bit of tempo back, because, I mean, as you saw, Glorious has to slow down and take care of those knights and clear those knights before they move on, and that allows No Breaks to make them a little bit looser choices. They can go up to knights and take their knights, and it lets them take a little bit of map control back.
Well, we have a big engagement here at the Knights. Glorious gets there just in time to potentially deny the Knights for Team No Breaks. And, everyone's going down. Sonya heroically playing, but it's not enough. And it looks like Glorious is actually going to steal the Knight Camp and completely obliterate Team No Breaks in this engagement. Chen gets out, but barely.
They weren't able to. Nazebo wasn't positioned quite perfectly for that ult. They weren't able to protect Nazebo as well as I'm sure they would have liked to. And that definitely led to a lost team fight.
Well, this fort is going to go down, that's for sure. And we have the Knights pushing in top lane as well. So they're probably just going to wrap around and see what they can do. But nope, they decide it's a safe play to, back up. They see that the enemy team is in fact back up. And they have some coins they want to turn in once again.
Yeah, some people will say, like, oh, they're trolling because they're backing off and they have a 4-level lead. Well, that's not the case at all. If you continue to push right here in on their core with no real mercenaries to back you up, no real minions to back you up, and if the other team is simply diligent and smart, that push will fail. So you are better off just backing off, regrouping, taking what objectives you can, and then come back and finish the job.
I mean, even with a 3-level lead, like you said, you have to consider the underdog bonus, because if they lose that engagement, the other enemy team just gets that much further back into the game. You don't want to give them that free XP. Just if you have the coins to turn in, I agree 100%, back up, turn them in. And they're just grabbing the merc camps. They know they have the pressure on. They know that the keeps are down. They have catapults in mid lane. They're going to potentially get catapults in the top lane here. And they're just grabbing all the mercenary camps.
Yeah, everything's going in Glorious's favor right now. It's still not over entirely. All it takes is one big team fight win to really swing the game the other way, but it's still going to be tough for No Breaks at this point.
Flowerong will likely fall here, and he goes down for sure. And it looks like they'll get this
Having a spirit.
He's, the heroic's been used, and it did a good amount of damage, but now they don't have that heroic for a decent amount of time.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that play. Maybe that was the best to use the Ravenous Spirit to get as much damage out as you could on the buildings, and maybe they'll have it back before the next team fight.
But Glorious knows that they have an opportunity for a man
Glorious
down.
knows that it's down.
Yes, they have a 2-level lead, and Ravenous Spirit, which is kind of the core strategy the enemy team is running, is currently on cooldown. So this is kind of an opportunity for Glorious to regroup and maybe just initiate. But Team No Breaks got some coins turned in, and they're currently bombarding Glorious. So this is kind of a little moral win for them, because this will help them get back into the game.
Right. I mean, right now, Glorious has all the advantages in terms of the amount of damage done to buildings and the level advantage. But in terms of map control at this moment, it's really not that different.
Yeah, but this Grave Golem on the top could make a difference, because they're going to do this Grave Golem uncontested no matter what. And they almost have enough coins to turn in again. I mean, they're just...
I think we'll see them push with the Golem. That would be my prediction. And then maybe they'll turn in coins. I don't think they'll let the Golem go alone by itself. We'll see right here. Nope, they're going to let it go.
Yeah.
Maybe they're going to split push on split push bottom after turning in coins.
It seems to be their idea here. They're moving over to the center of the map, kind of trying to look for the enemies. They're like, where are they? But I guess they realize they're all actually still in their base defending this Golem. And they can turn in their coins free of charge, you know, just
There's clairvoyant, so No Breaks knows that they're there turning in coins. They are not going to be able to do anything about it. They're just going to focus on the Golem. And we'll see what Glorious does after the turn-in.
I mean,
Team No Breaks for the really push.
Yeah, they wanted to try to keep this fort alive, but it will go down no matter what. I went Canadian there for a second. Yeah, they're just going to keep roaming around the map, just never going to initiate. They don't have to engage. They don't have to attack. They can just win from afar. They have such a lead, 3-level lead.
And play it safe and win with mercenaries and try to make 0 mistakes. I mean, it's a solid way to play the game.
I mean, it's definitely a 100% viable strat. Get ahead and then just keep pressuring with mercenaries and cannonballs in this map, because there's no risk, or low risk at least, compared to initiating and engaging with yourself. But they know they have the 3-level lead, and they know they have the knights here, so they're just going to go ahead and try to get a big push and end the game. While everything is going off here, we see all the heroics popping, but Team No Breaks is just falling. That level lead is coming into play here.
Witch Doctor is able to just channel. No, Witch Doctor had to give up. Witch Doctor was not in the best position for that. Yeah, No Breaks is gone down with that. This should be GG. We will see.
Yeah, with 30-second death timers, I mean, I can't see the Nazeebo holding off this entire push by himself. Catapult's coming from the mid lane. That'll be GG for game 1. Glorious is going to take the first game of the Heroes Pro League.
Congratulations to Glorious.
Well, you know, what do you think about that game? What could Team No Breaks have done differently to kind of put that back in their favor? Because it seemed like once Glorious got the tempo advantage, they just kept pressuring with mercenaries, kept pressuring by getting that coin advantage. I mean, they always had the coin advantage. They were doing a much better job, you know, collecting the map objective and just turning in those coins. And it never really seemed like they really had to engage fully.
Well, No Breaks did do a few things well. Like they caught Glaurung out early on, down in the lower part of the map, and I think the mistake was using Ravenous Spirit there on the buildings and such. That should have been saved, and I think they also could have focused that fort down without too much trouble. I don't know why they had to back off so quickly.
Yeah, I think he uses Ravenous Spirit a little bit on that top tower, and he cleaned up some Siege Giants with it as well. So, I mean, it's arguable maybe they just wanted to defend the Siege Giants and just kind of push that lane back and get out of there rather than try to take the fort. But you're right, that the experience they would have gotten for taking that fort would have helped them out a little bit.
Oh,
and,
definitely.
You know, being 2 to 3 levels behind most of the game is not easy. That level advantage, you know, makes a big difference. That's for sure. The initiation on their night camp, Team No Breaks night camp on the right side of the map, where Glorious came in, I think that's probably what kind of put the nail in the coffin at that point in the game, because they not only did they initiate on their side of the map, they got almost a full team wipe. I think just Chen survived, and they had a free push of knights with that. So I think,
and even that was followed up after a previous gank or some such down below at the bottom part of the map, where they took an advantage and they had No Breaks. I think they had 2 heroes on, you know, a short timer, but it was enough to let them take map control and apply pressure top, and then they wrapped around and came in for the gank on those knights, like you say, and got the team wipe, which was huge, and helped them roll further in the game. This was a good example of a game that snowballed out of control.
I mean, that can often happen on a map like Blackheart's Bay, where, again, you just can keep getting the mercenary camps, keep getting the siege on your enemy, and just, you know, when you're not initiating, but you're still doing that massive experience bonus for taking out forts and keeps, it just kind of gets out of control, because they can just be wherever they want on the map, collecting the other objectives, maximizing their experience, and, you know, it worked out well for them.
Yeah, sure did.